This is Paul. Yes. I know that there's going to be generals and admirals that are upset about this, but this number has been established for Paul C. Budnick. Yeah. That's what that social security number is for? Yes. And this was my certificate of live birth. I was born on July 13th of 1970. Yeah. I was born in Auburn, Washington. I wanted to remind those that are in the military that there are certain conditions of being a citizen of the United States. Yeah. And this citizenship that you seem to think is really not enforceable. I actually have a Social Security card because in Amendment number 14, it says all persons born, yeah, or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Now, when Heidi moved my sons to Clallam County, we were residents of the United States territory of Guam. You actually violated Amendment number 14, Section 1, when you used my Social Security number. Yeah, Social Security number of my wife, quite possibly my son's Social Security number. And she wasn't a resident, and there was no exigency situation for you to issue the protection order? Yeah. Now, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States. Yeah. Nor shall any state, as in Washington state and every state, deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Now, you've deprived my sons of an education, yeah, commensurate with their actual age for 7 years and 5 months because of your fraud. And then the equal protection of the laws. Yes, the laws that make it a crime to issue court orders without any notice or opportunity to the actual person that is a born United States citizen. Yeah. Subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and subject to the state wherein they reside after residing here for 6 months. Yes. Now, Heidi could have motioned the court for protection order when she was on Guam, but she abducted my sons. Ooch. And when I say that it's treason, you have deprived me of life, liberty, and property without due process of law for 7 years and 6 months. Now, we can get out the date calculator? Yes. Heidi abducted my sons on July 2nd of 2011. You issued a protection order where she did not reside in the state of Washington because Benjamin was born on Guam and we were residents of Guam. Yes. Now, a simple date calculator, okay, is that my wife abducted my sons, yes, moved to Clallam County, on July 2nd of 2011, yes. Now, I've done this numerous times and you don't seem to care about it? Poop. But it was July 2nd of 2011. Yeah. 7 years, 5 months, and 23 days. Look at that. For 2,733 days, my wife has had custody of my sons. Yeah. Now, since Benjamin was born on Guam and we resided on that U.S. territory, you had no jurisdiction to issue a protection order because I wasn't a resident. Okay. Now, the military has to protect and defend all persons born or naturalized in the United States, and they have to enforce the jurisdiction of the United States of America. Now, when she motioned the court for your emergency ex parte temporary protection order, Brent Baston, on July 8th of 2011, yeah, you gave it to her without me getting any notice or opportunity to be heard after you issued it. Poop. I would have said, well, we're actually not residents of the state of Washington. We were residing on Guam. We had a baby there. Yes. And then you reissued it. Yes. And then you issued a permanent 1 year protection order on August 12th of 2011 when I wasn't a resident. Yes. when Heidi wasn't an actual resident because we resided on Guam and she wasn't a resident for 6 months. Yes. I don't think you can issue a permanent 1 year protection order without residing in the jurisdiction of the state of residency. Yes. When you have a baby in a U.S. territory. Now, sometime around August to September, yeah, you gave custody of my sons and she enrolled them in school. Yeah. And she retarded them for the last 7 years and 4 months because you're so corrupt right now. Now, this military that you said well, you can't issue a permanent protection order unless there's some circumstance where I got arrested in Washington State. Yeah. I resided in Washington State. Yes. Or I could get notice and opportunity to be heard in Washington State. Yes. Because the actual jurisdiction of all the persons known as United States citizens was Guam on August 12th of 2011. Now maybe Judge Ken Williams realizes, right, that there was absolutely no jurisdiction of law. Oh, now I'm going to sue this county. Do you fucking understand right now? Do you understand? Now, these individuals known as citizens born in the United States, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are the citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Proof. You actually did not have jurisdiction to issue the permanent protection order on August 12th of 2011 because Benjamin was born on Guam. I'm sorry, Heidi wasn't a resident either. Oh, now let's look at it again because Clallam County right now. I'm going to sue you, fucks. You understand? Pooch. I'm going to sue you for the shit that you put me and my family through right now. See, as their father, yes, born in Washington State, yeah, we actually had Benjamin on Guam September 6th of 2010, yes, and we were, resident state, Guam. Poo, poo, poo. See, when you arrested me for the allegation of violating the protection order on, it was May 27th or 28th, and you had me arraigned, yes. Not only was it the fraud right now, Coach, I'm telling you, I'll sue the fucking U.S. military for every fucking dime they have. There was no jurisdiction because we were a resident of Guam, yes. And Heidi was a resident of Guam as she signed, yes. And then this issuing of a protection order, yes. Yeah, you couldn't arrest me for violating it because she wasn't a resident of Washington State. You violated Amendment number 14, number 1.